Sometimes I feel like I take too much. Shit. Like if I don't leave anything for nobody, but I didn't go through everything pretty much, but it's just how I feel. You know what I mean? Peace, y'all. There we go. I found these. Fire. Never had them, but I've seen them before. I'm gonna give these to my neighbors. Mojito. This contains no alcohol. This one also contains no alcohol. This one contains no alcohol. This one is Jack. Oh, this does oh, this is a mixer. Never mind. These are just mixers. But this looks like it's something, right? I'm gonna keep these two. See if they have alcohol in it. These don't. Yo, I'm feeling a little restless today. I just feel a little restless today. You know, I could probably take a little nap right now, but gotta go to the store. Maybe because I haven't ate. Maybe I need to eat something. Anyway, y'all, if y'all feeling restless, just get some fresh air. Maybe I need some fresh air. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee right now, walk around the market, be around people, feel their energy. Maybe that's what we need, man. Take care, y'all. Hey, watch my video on Jean Patchett. Man, you're gonna be amazed by her contribution. And yeah, maybe they use her modeling as a way to sell makeup and to kind of like fashion the women and kind of influence them possibly. Not saying she's like the best role model or nothing. If psychologically wise, you could see she kind of has a similar story as Monroe, right? Where a rich man holds on to her because she's beautiful and, you know, invests in her and she becomes one of the biggest supermodels over time. But trip out, like I said, trip out on the sweatpants and how they just used her eye in the lips. It goes on a lot, especially in the Chicana or the Latina cultures, you know, the brown American, especially in Los Angeles, you know, even in Japan, they like, the girls like to do their eye, you know, whip it with a little, and color it, and then their lips. And it's just amazing how they made sweatpants. They marketed one of her photos, one of her looks, and a lot of women today, they like to, even tattoo artists like to draw the clown eye. So peep it, man. Let me know if that kind of makes you learn something new and kind of see her influence on the fashion world, especially for women. So chocolate twist, yo. I know where my daughter gets it from. The difference, you want this one. This shit don't even look the same. It's that gourmet. So I was driving from the market and when I see runners in the street, I always kind of look, and you know, I ain't gonna lie, I'm competitive, man. I'm like, man, they're running faster than me, or like, you know, I kind of see maybe, it's not even like a hate thing either. It is, I look to see their prototype, you know what I mean? Their body compared to mine, like what I gotta work on. And like, anyway, the guy that runs, I think I might have seen him before. Built athletic, you know, thick, not like skinny or not like me or whatever, like probably be a really good wrestler, football player, you know, things like that. Goes running, probably lifts weights and stuff, you know. And then like probably like a half a mile behind him is a female. And I've seen this guy run before. I've never seen him with a female. So I think now maybe they dating or something, because a man usually could run faster than a woman. I assume he's just doing his own run, you know. Maybe she's running behind him. But it didn't really look like they were together for some reason. Also because I never seen him with her. But I was a little jealous, like, well, I see what this is, lady. You like to go run at the same time as this gentleman. If they're not dating, it would obviously, she's like probably like, I don't know, telling him something like, but he kind of seemed kind of like, I don't know, just, I'm not saying he's gay, he just seemed a little soft in a sense, but I was like, I know what this is, girl. I know what this is. I was a little jealous, like, oh, it'd be cool to go running with somebody. So I think it's vlog like 253 when I'm just like in my car, mad paranoid, looking at the cops over there talking to the other homeless dudes who I think work for somebody. I don't know. I started staying here, and then they came to stay here too. So all I know is I got here first. So I don't know where they come from. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But I trust them. You know, when I give them stuff and stuff like that. But do I trust them to be in a room with them? Or they're a little odd. They're very unproductive yet very entitled. You know what I mean? But the point, what ended up happening after the cops left, I walked over there to check what was going on for sure. And I'm pretty sure whatever scientists in these buildings is watching me, they must have seen me go check it. Well, so why did the cops come? Like, what's up with him? You know, if somebody was watching, like, that's probably what he's gonna do. He just wants to make sure he's paranoid or whatever. You know what I mean? Long story short, ends up being, I guess, one of the guys over there actually has a warrant for some crime that maybe in a time that was different than today, you probably have to go serve some time. But they just served him up a ticket, and then they actually came to see if the homeless people here in this location need actually, or they asked them if anybody ever came to help them out, like any services, and then they kind of asked them if they needed any housing or something. So I guess they're gonna link them with housing. But that vlog, I think 253 or 254, the one you see me ranting, very paranoid, talking about the situation going on, is because I was stoned, I was paranoid. Why the cops here all of a sudden? Are they kicking them out? Or it's either they're really gonna kick them out. I had no idea they were even here to like offer help. The sheriffs, that's kind of odd, right? But I guess that's cool that they asked though. You know, I was super shocked to hear that. And also shocked they didn't take him to jail for his warrant, but not too shocked about that. Really more shocked that they came to actually offer some resources. I could see why they didn't want to talk to me because I'm kind of their age. I go running around here. I'm a little more normal, you could say, or a little more like aware or so. I guess I don't know what you want to say. I don't know. That's right. That's that whole vlog of me saying things like that, being just I'm mad paranoid. I don't trust the guy Mike that lives at the fucking church. I don't trust this church. I don't trust Gary. I don't trust fucking Eddie. I don't even trust those police, right? So that vlog was from that point of view of me just keeping an eye on what's going on. Because I'm in here alone. I got my family. I just barely started staying here not too long ago, wanting to make my art, wanting to make my music. You know, and there's nothing wrong with saying how I feel, or saying things about the world. You know. But long story short, that's that video. And then also, there was another one. Okay, I show this little clip of these three. It seemed like they were siblings, but you could tell they were not that old. Like two men and a young lady with their hands behind their back, standing in a line at the cemetery. And I show you guys a clip. Like, I'm gonna talk about this later. That's actually for a longer video. But to make a long story short, what was happening is that there was some internal things going on. There was somebody actually next to the gravestone, or the grave, where the loved one was buried, and they were working on it, cleaning it, putting new flowers, fresh water, But those people were standing behind her. It's like one of those situations where, like, maybe you guys both met at the cemetery, and that's both your loved one, but you guys don't quite get along or something. You know what I mean? It could have been like the grandma died, one of her daughters was there, but her grandkids showed up whose parent doesn't get along with that particular sibling. In a sense, it was like that, But I was stoned. I was like, man, these people wasting so much time just like not being happy. They're stuck on other people's judgments of a particular individual, what makes them, like, just, it was so weird. It was just, they were just standing up in the shade because they would have been standing in the sun. So they were like a little distance away, but that individual, the person that knew, the same person they knew in that grave, they were in the sun, because at that time that person's gravesite was in the sun, so they were standing off in the shade. I don't think you could see the person sitting there in the sun. And it was just kind of sad to me. I thought it was very sad. It was very relatable, but it was very sad. It was very stupid. I think I could just see them, like, because that person's back was to them, and they were just looking at her, like, judging, or on the phone. Just like there was like a wall there. They could have just been kind to the lady. And you could tell the lady was uncomfortable. but she knew them. Like, she would have to get up and walk to her car, and like, she was always like walking a little hesitantly, you know. It was stupid, man. I was just like, man, if you guys could smoke and just, or if somebody like me could just go into the middle of that conversation and just like, hey, like, be the moderator, you know. It's crazy, man. This is to all my brothers who are succeeding, you know, my brothers who are my friends personally, and also my brothers in life, strangers out there who this is gonna reach because God is gonna make it reach them. But when people look at you, and not because of you, but because of them, whatever they're battling at that point in life, they're feeling a negative way. If they understood that it was more important, the reason why they were looking towards you as opposed to the opinion it created is ultimately because I guess you're moving as a person with responsibility that must be bigger than themselves, you know? So don't worry, you're not alone. I love you. When you're a performer, because right now I'm thinking about this, the same people who like to judge you are probably not as consistent as you. Then it makes me think, well, that's why there's an audience to performing. If you take anything you do as a performance, the audience is just something that comes along with it, something you have to accept. So it's just my advice, you know. I know it's hard for people who weren't taught this and are still performers but had to learn on their own. I had to make this video so I could teach my kid this, you know. It's just part of whatever it is that you choose to be great at. So when people, you feel like they're judging you and you think, well, they're not even as consistent as me. The point is, it's part of it, you know. So don't be so, let it drive you, but don't be so embittered, you know. Peace, y'all.